the bottom left-hand corner to start us off. The red Protoss player. This is MaxPax. GLHF gets called. We get this going. And we have ourselves MaxPax in the bottom left. ByuN in the upper right. In number 1, best of 5 finals, like I said, ByuN, his third time in 33 editions to make it to the finals of a WardiTV Monday. It ain't easy to do. Very few people have made a finals of this event before, because MaxPax, Clem, and Hero really do just dominate it. Let's see what we get as ByuN settles down. MaxPax settles in. We get that ready to go. Cybercore coming down, Engineering Bay and the barracks coming up, and gets settled in as the SUV pulls back there for a moment or two. Engineering Bay blocking on the natural. Nexus builds on the third base, the SUV coming across. Oh, Nexus continues to come through for a second or two. We're all going to see the Adept and the Warp Gate coming up as well, so just get this a roll. And obviously Nexus comes down on the third base location because of the way that this opens, so we'll get that set up and see how that goes. As the out of position Nexus can sometimes be a little bit of an issue. It's going to have ourselves the factory coming online, the refinery and the reactor coming up. Factory is going to be done very shortly as SEC just continues along. So again, keep that on the go for a moment or two and get this all set up. Rain's on the way out as well currently. As Twilight Council obviously gives you that blink opening, which we really expect to see most of the games here out of MaxPax. It really hits his comfort opening in this matchup. As ByuN gets a Cyclone on the way. We'll look to see if we can do anything early with that. The command center building on the high ground as well. Just a very safe way to set up, making sure that the early harassment and MaxPax can't start getting away from you here or anything. So just try and get that all going. As that Cyclone still building, starport gets set. Going to begin to build a medevac. Get that underway too. Robo facility coming up as we speak. So again, we get that all settled in for a moment or so as that Adept continues to move around. So again, we bring that about. Robo dropping down into place. Well, blink halfway until ByuN hits some aggression. We're just starting to move out. Not much else to mention as MaxPax just sets up himself. Stalk's going to be stepping forward to start trying to meet this Cyclone. Gets an initial lock on. And we do see the next Stalker warping in. Battery available here. Marines actually get quite a few good shots off there as well. Blink going to be finishing shortly. Immortal and the Stalker coming in. Medevac still gathering up on the top side. Again, Liberator and a siege tank coming through as well as we continue to bring that all into play here just for the moment. Barracks coming about. Blink and the Immortal coming online. The barracks will finish in a few moments from ByuN, so just get that finished. Get that completed early on. Cyclone Siege Tank going to be there. Stalker's getting hit. Is Hero playing today? Nope, no Hero sign up today. Sorry, missed that on the YouTube chat. I know that was a few minutes ago, but no Hero today. It's the finals, ByuN MaxPax. Not really any upsets in the bracket, because like I say, Hero and Clem were both not playing. So you might see this final and be like, whoa, you knocked out the big dogs, but they just weren't playing today, so yeah. Again, Stimpak and that +1 upgrade continue through. Charge and the +1 attack coming about. The Colossus is on the way through as well. The starport about to finish up on the reactor. Get that done in a couple of moments. All settled as the barracks going to lift off. Move over to the tech lab factory. Going to go up beyond the starport. A couple of medevacs still producing through as well. Charge not far from being done. The +1 attack coming through. A couple of gateways on the way up as well. The Bioforce will get there and chase those stalkers down for a little bit. So ByuN starting to push out onto this map. And +1 and the charge both coming through will both be aids here for MaxPax, who loses a stalker. Not the best in micro, not perfect. As we come across the other way, just have ourselves the shove continuing. But there's a Colossus here, and ByuN sees that. So I don't know if he really wants to try and set up into that Colossus or what. And just be honestly, I feel like the moment the Colossus is out lately, I'm so scared for the Terrans. Well, again, just the stim combat and +1 all gathering together. The hallucination there will come through as well. So +1 and extended thermal lance on the way about for the moment. Vikings on the way, Marine Marauder popping through. It's going to get that all settled in. Little scan coming about. We'll look to see what's going on for a few moments. Continue to settle here just now. Step back across. Take a couple of seconds. Next coming through. Temple Archives coming down as well. Let's get that tech up and online as we see our Colossus from MaxPax starting to go across to the other side. So a little bit of a shove over for a couple of moments here, trying to see a bit of what's going on. High Templars joining together, the Archon coming up. Just going to see the army of ByuN just sat back. MaxPax going to threaten the push in. ByuN just going to sit there and let these units walk into him and basically get rid of all of the Zealots for free. The Zealots don't hit a single time here. And now, as MaxPax going a bit too far, ByuN feels like he can chase forward. A couple of Vikings chipping through the Colossus. Not a lot of Stalkers around, which means that you actually can, actually get those Vikings to put a lot of work in. The Liberator does not go down there either. Nice positioning from ByuN on that. The Marines in the bunker will get rid of the Zealots there, and again, this next round of Zealots on this army is not going to do too much. Vikings will get rid of one of the Colossus now, as ByuN taking a good selection of fights here against MaxPax, warping of Stalkers, as MaxPax definitely recognizing the need to protect those Colossus from those Vikings. We finally get rid of that Lib on the other side. A good couple of moments here from ByuN, a good start to some of these fights. Definitely a reasonable setup for the moment as the Bio and the Vikings gather up together. Tank and the Ghost joining up as well. Again, Marine Roar, the Viking, all coming online for now. And Archon will just settle into the front. The armor upgrade coming about. The Forges are coming in. The Zealots are building. Colossus is about to finish. And again, a couple of Ghosts will be popping at the same time. Fire chases. Stalkers get pushed. The Vikings going to be overhead. And the Disruptor and the armor upgrade coming about. The extra Zealots in production. Gates on the way. Stalkers will just shoot away a couple of the Vikings. The Colossus will continue to fire. The ByuN units go back the other side. I mean, ByuN obviously trying to take an opportunity to attack in and take advantage of what has been a decent selection of fights from him so far in this game. Can he continue that on MaxPax's side of the map? There's a couple of Zealots and Archons on the top seem indestructible. They lasted so long. The Vikings will get rid of all the Colossus, though, with the Colossus down. And reinforcing ByuN's get enough done. The Archon falls as well. Just that Immortal and a Disruptor left over in terms of tech units. The concern for ByuN might be the lack of upgrades, right? Armory and Engineering Bay only just starting now, so 2-2 is not on the horizon. 2-2 is a long way off, and that might be one of the bigger problems here in general at the moment as the Robo Facility gathers. The Nexus coming through. Archon Disruptor coming about, +1 armor also coming through for the moment. The Ghost will build. The ByuN's just going to jump onto that set of rocks here. Sensor Tower coming up as well. The Vikings and the Bio just going to knock those rocks down. CC going to fly over to the front. And drop down a Robo Facility in the center as well. Still got the Zealots and the Colossus. The +1 armor coming about. There's 3 Marauders and the Ghost coming through. At the 2-2 upgrade zone. Bio coming in from that bottom side. Couple Colossus coming over. Take the Watchtower. Just have ourselves again a few Zealots, a couple Colossus coming about. Bio army gathering up. Just a little bit of Bio there to knock away the Zealot as well. Bio still stepping up for the moment. 2 Colossus at a time. MaxPax definitely realizing the power of those. ByuN getting that gold base back up and operational in the middle of Amygdala here, so trying to get that up and running just for the moment, like I say. Additional upgrades coming through too with the 3-2 on the way, the +1 ship weapons, the 2-2 attack upgrades as well. Like I said, a little bit of everything coming about just for now. As we get that all settled in, the single Zealot there, going to get rid of the Marine. Just going to pick that off. Some of the Zealots charging forward there. That Colossus getting hit by the EMP, but ByuN not quite with enough yet to still fight through that. The 2-2 upgrades are still coming in. That Starport going to be finishing very shortly. Need to bring that through for the moment as the setup continues. The upgrades coming about. The ship weapons coming online. Bring a lot of this in for the moment as we continue to settle here. Just having ourselves, the Bioforce is going to continue to fight. A couple Colossus are going to be there as well, coming in from 2 different sides. Disruptor Shot going towards a few Marauders. Vikings going to jump onto a lot of the Colossus as well. ByuN's losing this fight, and after a lot of good fights earlier in the game, I think what really kills ByuN is some of the commitment he was at towards those fights earlier on, right? That Storm's still coming through, the upgrade's still coming about. Dark Shrine, the Gateway's coming up as well. Continue to bring a lot of that by as the rest of this continues into place. That Storm and all the other upgrades continue through. The Dark Shrine still coming about. Gateway's on the way up. Bring a lot of that into play currently as the Sensor Tower is going to get jumped on, so those couple of Colossus will get through. Sensor Tower will go down. Just going to be seeing Bioforce going to try and kite back. This is where ByuN made some of the better defenses of this game early on. Unfortunately, now they are a thing of the past, and MaxPax looking to push through for the 1-0 lead. Dies onto a Disruptor. He's going to eat the next Disruptor shot. Those Mortals will then shoot through those low HP Marauders. And that's going to be GG. Good first initial attempt here from ByuN. But MaxPax able to win out in what was a long subscribe on the YouTube. If everyone subscribed on the YouTube and just clicked that button, we would hit our YouTube subscriber goal within the month. We want to try and get to 50,000 YouTube subs. We're about 4,000 away. If everyone watching just hit the button, we'd be there within a month. Which would be crazy. So, yeah, if you're watching on the YouTube, please hit the sub button. Helps us out so much. I'm going to use that. That's going to be my favorite stat for the next couple of weeks. See if we can try and get that percentage up a little bit. See if we can try and shove it over. So, yeah. And that is a real stat too. I'm not just making it up to be 50-50. It's genuinely true. It's actually 50-50. It's like 50.2 versus 49.8 or so. Hit you with the link? Absolutely. I'll send you guys over to YouTube as well. From Twitch. That counts too. That works. Even more chances of us hitting the goals if the if we go there from Twitch, you know. Already subbed there? Yeah, well, some people will be. See, 50-50. One person asked for the link, the other person's already subbed. It's so true. Game number 2, Young Killer's Mile, going to be our map. As we get into the early stages of this second game. Engineering Bay going down, Barracks coming up, Gateway coming over. I'm just going to be having ourselves a few probes are going to pull across as the SCV will take a few nibbles. So a few nibbles coming about early on, getting settled. And just going to try and delay and deny that command center to the best of our ability. Just try and be as much of an annoyance as we can on that one. Well, continues up, so we just get settled down. Again, we take a few moments here to establish ourselves in this game 2. Factory, reactor, the refinery coming about. Reaper's going to be hopping up towards the upper right-hand side as well. It's just going to get moving over there as I try to see a bit of what's going on. And the Adept going to step across as well to try and help things out for the next couple of moments. Reaper going to take a few more shots. And the Adept going to chase that Reaper away, push that out. For the moment, so far so good. As, yeah, Factory, CC coming about, the SCV in production as well. All of that coming through. Reaper going to pull back over as the Twilight Council continues into play. Shoot probe is going to go down. The other probe pulling back across. Adept's going to continue to swing about. Just going to see the Stalker be able to deny the Reaper as Twilight Council finishing. I'm going to stick with the Starport on the way in, the Widow Mine coming up, and a couple of other Marines coming through as well. Facility building online here obviously as well. MaxPax really not taking any kind of crazy turn in this so far. Really just playing pretty standard for the first few moments of this setup. One Marine's going to step forward, they're going to get rid of the Adept as well, and now I'm going to continue to challenge against the Stalker. Obviously MaxPax getting some Marines out of this too, so should be feeling pretty okay about it. Early on, again that Blink tank, a couple Marines all continue through for the moment. Get that underway. Just here initially. Medevac has the 2 Widow Mines, like I said before. That gives you the chance to actually get across and put some pressure on. So we're going to be seeing how well that goes for us next couple of moments. Done Shoreline gives MaxPax the ability to be a bit more aggressive out on the map. Set back up over there. Raven the Marines coming through as well. Siege tank coming through. The bunker is coming online. Get that barracks finished in a couple of moments. Starport going to lift off with the tech lab, bring it away. Going a little bit elsewhere. Gonna get straight onto that medevac. We will get both the Widow Mines unloaded at least, and the Stalkers having committed through like that. Actually, we still had that blink available. It's just good positioning. So no Stalker lost. 2 probes go down. That's gonna be fine then. The defense from MaxPax, hard to really say otherwise there. Just shuts that down immediately and means it's not lingering around. 2 probes is absolutely fine. Like, ByuN's okay with it as well, but I think MaxPax is always very happy when he doesn't have to stick around and continue to figure out answers to this. We're going to fire a couple of probes. It's going to be Seeing the Stalkers flying about, a couple of tanks taking shots, Marines stepping through as well. Probes going down. So, hey, nice damage from ByuN. Maybe what he needs is he sets up to try and keep on pushing. Can he push in? I mean, Raven going to rejoin with this. Colossus out. I feel like the answer is honestly no, not really. Step straight through. Stalker's going to blink across. One tank going down. The rest of these Marines continue to fight. The Colossus still firing. Both those Stalkers continue to drop there. The Colossus gets turned around the other direction again. I'm just going to be seeing Stimp back about to finish. Plus one attack coming through as well. The Marines will get rid of the Zealot. Nice shutdown. Nice denial as another Marine comes up through the center. ByuN is trying to pull back. A couple Stalkers just intercepting some reinforcements, but the rest of the army gets there. Stalkers have to give up on that attempt. Just for the moment, pulling that away. And we do have ourselves the Colossus, the +1, extended thermal lands all coming through, sentry on the way up. Couple gates and the probes building as well. Dropping those extra gates down in that main base currently. Again, +1 on the combat shield continue to get going. ByuN's unloading, a couple probes going to get shot at, finally going to be in some trouble. That Robo Bay is actually going to be a target here, but not before the Forge, and +1 gets denied 4 seconds from finishing. Colossus get there, but we killed a Stalker too, so we can evacuate most of those units. Even saves that Marauder that was super low. That felt as though he was destined to die. Nice cleanup from MaxPax, but yeah, the Forge goes down, so your upgrade gets delayed, and ByuN going to give himself a little bit of hope and potential here in this one. The Stalkers will intercept the Medivacs, but it comes at the cost. The Stalkers will die, so one Stalker maybe gets out of there alive, which is reasonable, I guess, but still not exactly great. Rest of the Bio pulling back away to the left. And these few units get away would be really nice just to preserve a little bit more. The Bio we will stim. Stalker's already blinked, so it looks like they will get back. Bunker, tanks. Setup is very well established here right now, defensively speaking. So it looks as though we should be good in that regard. So I've seen those few Colossus, Stalkers, and the Sentries continue to come over. Couple Vikings will be there. The Colossus get turned around. The Depot already taking damage. The tank shot firing, centering a couple of Stalkers going down as well. Prism will unload a few of those Zealots. He's going to get in for the SCVs. And the Bio is going to be there. There's a couple of Zealots getting picked away at. Vikings going to go, and they will get rid of that Prism as well up that left-hand side. So just cheering through. Nelly loses a Colossus, though. Again, got to be a little bit cautious. Attack unit's important. As MaxPax got a couple SCVs out of all this for now. And a couple of Vikings coming through, +1 armor is about to finish up as well. And again, we'll have a good set of 1-1 upgrades against the 1-1 that comes in from MaxPax. Remember that +1 could have been well on the way to +2 already, but not quite the way of things in the end. Storm 1-1 upgrades all coming through. The couple of 2-2 upgrades coming about as well. Ship weapons is coming up as we speak. Just getting that army settled between the bases. MaxPax on 5 bases, or going up toward 5 bases right now. So starting to get to that point once again where he's able to take a lot of control in this game, really get into a much stronger position. There's a couple of Zealots and Stalkers taking damage. The Bioforce will chase through, chase those Zealots down. Turning back the other direction, those Stalkers are going to get chased away as well. It's just going to push that back. As the Stalkers gather up, the Ghosts coming through, the ship weapons coming online, the 2-2. Big part of that as well for the moment. I feel like ByuN isn't harassing Ellie as much as he should against a player like MaxPax. I think in general in PvP, harassment is down at the moment. Which would be great if TVP was a workplace, but unfortunately, it's a matchup where you actually kind of, in the past, Terrans love to harass, but I think it's becoming so difficult because the Protoss army can be such a figurehead on the map that you've got to respect it. It's difficult to justify splitting so many units apart, right? And because of that, it's like you're kind of scared, and then if you go and harass, and it's just a warping away from being defended. I think that's the frustrating part. Like, to really harass effectively, maybe like a Liberator store is easily done, but it's also easily figured out. I think there's just so much investment needed to make it work nowadays. The Terrans are seen it's just not really worthwhile versus just trying to hang on at home, because that Protoss army, like I say, is such a strong factor on the map. It definitely is an interesting kind of question mark, because like I say, I feel like this is not quite how you usually see this is a matchup being, but I do think harassment has really been much less utilized lately, and that can really be my only real reason why. The EMPs go down. Just going to be seeing the Vikings going to step up. A couple of Colossus will be under some heavy fire here as going to get rid of one. Should be able to get rid of two. That other one's low HP. The Storms dissipate. The rest of this army is actually pretty weak already. Just Stalkers, no Zealots at all. ByuN is going to absolutely demolish this fight. Okay, well, that's a win from ByuN. MaxPax has a ton of money. He's going to instantly rebuild Zealots. Starts Disruptors as kind of an emergency splash damage unit. See if we can get some of those out as ByuN starts to come to the other side. 100 to 50 army supply storm from the high ground is cute. Anything you can do to try and chip away at that Terran army will help, as we do snipe that High Templar in return. The High Templar showing up is going to drop a storm as well. You can see ByuN is already still unsure about where to attack in. Now the army supply advantage is decreasing. He's going to take a chance to get into advanced ballistics, get that Liberator range online. If you already had Liberators here, I'm sure he'd be feeling amazing just kind of setting up and getting into a position. Unfortunately, that's not really the case at the moment as the High Templar falls. Still, I mean, some storms coming down, but they're not like major storms on top of everything, right? As the attack starts up, a couple of those Zealots start to take damage. Disruptor shot, going to land on a couple of Marauders. Another storm coming down, Zealots coming through too. Oh, Disruptor actually turned away, could have connected there. Little mistake from MaxPax, finds another storm. I just feel like when storm is on the map, there's just so many storms nowadays. Disruptor shot, not quite going to reach for the moment. This Disruptor will go down as ByuN confidently steps up. You need a little bit of that confidence. As you chase away, MaxPax going to start pushing ByuN back, and he's going to do it. For now, definitely going to have ByuN falling back a little bit. Try to get the snipe on that High Templar, by the way, but became an Archon before it could happen. Liberators will start showing up, and that's going to be the reinforcement to this push. That's going to go a long way. An EMP comes down. We could do with EMPs on the top right now. A lot of those units are clumped, but that's also true for the Terran army that just gets disrupted. MaxPax is going to chase through. Obviously, once you get past those Liberator zones, the Liberators are then free pickings as well, so they're going to go down very quickly and easily. ByuN just has to fall back from that fight. Man, again, just MaxPax buying himself time with a couple of those storms, making ByuN unsure about committing in. And by the time ByuN took a fight, MaxPax is up onto a bunch of disrupts. Like, there's so much time buying being done by MaxPax. Like, he is genuinely able to scare ByuN so much from committing to like an answer. It's kind of wild, as I think did ByuN, did he just lose with that fight as well now? Liberator sieging up, the Zealots get turned away. +3 armor on the way through, +2 ship weapons coming up as well. Another storm coming down, the bio steps over to the sides. Liberator at least going to get a few probes, but man, it's rough right now, because like I said, ByuN just lost a lot of his army. MaxPax had money to spend before, so that was a recovery kind of system for him. ByuN's going to try and set up on a 5th base. The Liberators are something he's gotten into, though, and that should help to keep him very safe, or much safer in this situation as well. That should definitely be a little bit of a help. We have ourselves the Liberator here. Going to go down 2. Stalker's able to get it. The rest of that army still coming about. Vikings, Marauders, the Ghost coming through, +2 ship weapons, and all the rest coming online as well currently. As we do see the Colossus firing back. ByuN is taking damage, plus 3 armor. Shadow Stride coming up. Gonna get rid of that Colossus as well. Another nice grab. Any Colossus you get rid of is going to be a pretty sizable deal. Again, really relying on these Liberators, and the one thing that is going to be very true here is that we're not really in a position to deal with Liberators as MaxPax. Like, his stalker count isn't super crazy good, and he's obviously nowhere near getting towards Tempests or anything along those lines. So ByuN has definitely taken attack advantage at this point with these armies. Let's see how this goes as the Liberators will continue to zone. High Templars will not be able to move up there. That was a very good fight for ByuN. MaxPax reinforces with 13 Zealots, but 13 Zealots are not going to, add a lot to this army. They're just going to add buffer to it again. And as long as that's the case, ByuN is going to continue to sit pretty happy. Fairly pretty, as MaxPax 94 probes, yes. Is mining a crap ton at the moment, quite frankly. But that all of that mining is obviously going to go a long way. That is why he's able to kind of take what has been some of the worst fights in this game so far. He's 5,000 resources lost worse for wear. And his army is permanently smaller because of that worker count, which is obviously not ideal either. He's going to blink in with those Stalkers. Disruptor will try and push back some of the Bio Forces. The Vikings should chase here. There's not a lot of Stalkers left because they just committed onto that Liberator. So the Vikings should get fairly free pickings on the Colossus, but ByuN walks into Disruptor fire. He just lets that Disruptor do way more than it should have been able to. That Disruptor shot should have never been that good. He had no reason to be chasing down into the Disruptor shot there. Should have easily been able to split away and pull back. ByuN is going to still clean out a lot of the tech units. MaxPax rebuilds Colossus. There's still a good Viking count in this guy, so ByuN going to rebuild some Liberators. Some Vikings on the way. Finds a Storm. MaxPax has actually not got a lot of High Templar, right? So only 2 on the map. One full of energy, though, about to arrive, but a Liberator plus the Planetary going to turn units away. Don't think MaxPax is getting up this ramp anytime soon. With the scan coming down, just going to see the Bio still pulling backwards. Storm dropping again. We blink on top of the Liberator. The Vikings get grabbed by a Storm as well, so a few shots there. The Stalkers continue to shove. The Liberator is going to try and step forward. We do see the rest of these Stalkers coming through as well. 2 Liberators cover that ramp, and that's going to be the difficulty. MaxPax has continued to play in this position. Has not really found a way to attack otherwise. Those Buddha shots are actually going to be really nice. Into the Stalkers, into the Zealots. Do the Zealots leak in toward the natural. ByuN going to maybe need a few more units there, or repair that bunker. He actually was okay, and he survived. The Vikings very nearly 1 shot away from getting that Colossus kill too. Would have been really neat. As the Liberators are going to try and go to work, MaxPax is still trying to force ByuN around corners and force him to move around as ineffectively as possible so that he can try and capitalize and move into some better positions. Vikings still trying to chase the Colossus down. This is almost purely a Zealot army right now from MaxPax, which in theory should not do well enough in the long term, right? So again, you might be thinking, well, MaxPax is trading so bad, and yet he's just coming through again with more and more units, but it is mostly Zealots. Like I say, it's not like he's keeping a great amount of tech units alive. He's now going to start up the Stargate, so he's now going to start looking toward the possibility that he might possibly be able to go into something to kind of, long-term answer against those Liberators, which is something that definitely has been missing so far. The Stalkers get underneath that Liberator is going to go down. The Vikings are going to fire. The Zealots are going to charge through. It's going to be seeing the Bio here starting to fight. A couple of those Zealots get turned around. The Colossus getting turned away as well. Fire Army coming about. Assimilator will fall. Marine Marauder Liberator still coming about as well. We get ourselves another stim. All of those Zealots going down. The Colossus is going to be there. Just going to be having a Disruptor shot flying through. Not quite able to connect yet. There we do see it connecting now. Those Disruptors will start to drop, but ByuN is taking a lot of damage to the Zealots. So the Zealots fire doing a lot. However, Liberator shows up and will deny some mining. The thing is ByuN realizes this is more and more just pure Zealot heavy. He can kind of answer that a little bit more easily as well. He can take kind of fights and positions that play around that concept, rather than just kind of letting those Zealots be as annoying as they have been. Had to build a Phoenix here to deal with some of the ranged Liberator positions too. Something else that slowed MaxPax down significantly, as the resource loss still sticks at about a 10,000 difference. As long as ByuN sits here with the 5-base setup, that's fairly manageable. I mean, you could argue maybe at some point he needs a 6th base, but I guess taking the 6 o'clock soon may not be too much of an issue. Good EMPs going towards the back portion of that army. Again, lets the Disruptor just smack him in the face, though. Like, he literally just watches this punch coming, and he's just like, yeah, he hit me in the face. Ow, whoa, what the hell, that hurt? Like, that Disruptor shot from so far away. This was not a Disruptor that just clipped the edge or something like that. Like, he saw that coming in from a long way off, and I can't believe he lets that just, like I say, hit him in the face like that. That's the sort of thing that keeps MaxPax in this game. You know, taking big disruptor shots in the center of your army. Like, it's one thing to not be paying attention. Sometimes the disruptor shot hits big, right? It's another thing to be in the middle of an active fight and just refusing to micro against that. Like, your priorities have to be higher against... Like, I understand there's a lot going on. You need the EMP. You want to split against Zealots, blah, blah, blah. Splitting against a disruptor in the middle of your army needs to be a high priority, because otherwise you end up in a lot of trouble very quickly, so... yeah. Let's see our scan coming around again. A couple of Vikings overhead. ByuN going to step forward toward that Nexus as we do see ByuN starting to make some better efforts towards actually denying bases on and around the map. EMP towards a couple of those Stalkers. Disruptor shot going to fly in from afar. Obviously, bottom right, MaxPax is expanding over there now. Is obviously, if ByuN stretches to the upper left, maybe then we could do something more around the bottom side. Liberator is going to siege up. There's a very good fight for ByuN. A lot of MaxPax's army will just melt away in that situation, so that's a clean, easy shutdown at that point in time. Again, this is really just... This army of MaxPax is just so far from, you know, its greatest time. Scan coming about. A couple Liberators will be sieging. Disruptor's going to step through. And ByuN just going to have to kite back a little bit. Units coming in from two different angles. Zealots and High Templars coming about as well, as we have the Stalkers continuing to be chased for the moment. Medevacs and Marauders coming through. It's a nice storm on top of Marines and Marauders there. Ghosts as well. I think it was the only storm available. It was a very good one. Liberators are going to siege up late into this fight. As the Zealots start to leak through, are they going to be able to do enough? A couple of Vikings will get rid of that Colossus. Eventually. It's taking a little while, man. That Colossus gets to live for a while. MaxPax coming now down on supply. Warpers Zealots again, still sitting at 90 probes. ByuN could really do with a little bit of harassing that bottom right again. Just shut down those bases coming online. I think at this stage, when MaxPax is not as aggressively placed in the game, I think this is when you should be able to, as the Terran, be able to take down a base or two, right? Like this is where I think you should succeed if you go across the map and like drop a group of Marauders or a few Marines just to hit a base. Obviously, Liberators are very effective too. The Stalker's instantly there to shut down that Liberator, so that's an easy cleanup for the moment. MaxPax are expanding top left, the base that ByuN just got rid of moments ago. Chasing, a little EMP comes down. Pull back once again. Marine Marauder Liberator coming about. I'm just going to see those Vikings showing up. I'm going to start surging through the middle of the map here. A couple Colossus going to get jumped on. One Colossus falls, two Colossus go down. MaxPax's army is going to get chased. He has no splash damage left. ByuN is finally going to put some finishing touches to this game. And after 25 minutes on Killer's Mile, ByuN will be victorious. As we have in the top right corner of the map, our blue Protoss player. This is MaxPax, and he lost that second game, bringing him down to being tied up in this series. Bottom left, our red Terran player is going to be ByuN. As we get into game 3 of this best of 5, we get this kicked off. Yep, this is best of 5, guys. Best of 5 finals just for the weekly cup. Best of 7's a little extreme, so just best of 5. WardiTV days are amazing. Thank you so much. Glad you enjoy them. As always, if you do enjoy the events, said it before, say it again, support, even if that's just a like on the stream, sub on the YouTube, follow on Twitch, or just showing up again next time. We appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Game 3, best of 5. What do we have happen now on Sandworm? I wonder if ByuN has a way to kind of up the ante, up the aggression, maybe try and actually win a game a little bit earlier in the game rather than... I mean it's tough because I think MaxPax plays such a secure style, especially because he's being taken the later third base and the earlier tech structures instead. TC will go onto the natural here, so we set that up. Next is the Cyber Core coming through. We're just going to be having ourselves the probe coming about, the Orbital Command coming in. There's the assimilator dropping down onto the main base currently. And yeah, the Adept and the Warp Gate both coming through. Had that Nexus, had that assimilator on. Let's have ourselves a factory and the reactor continue to come in as well. So a little bit of setting up, a little bit of getting going. Why is MaxPax refusing to mine gas? So my take on it would be that I think MaxPax probably got into a position in this game where the problem is if you're mining gas, like a lot of the reasons MaxPax survived through a lot of bad fights was he had instantaneously just so many zealots available to be warped in, right? The moment you start setting up to warp in less zealots on the back of those kind of moments, because you're trying to build more tech units, might just be the moment that ByuN breaks through your army so much sooner. So it might seem crazy, you know, why not just mine more gas and just have more tech units available to be built? But is that also not a moment where, with less zealots, you kind of lose the buffer that has been keeping you alive in a lot of the trickier situations? That would be my kind of view on it, and obviously maybe it was just a misread and he felt like it was going to be fine, and obviously it was not in the end, but I think there's a reason why you have so much reliance on those zealots, because the power of your play is being able to warp in a ridiculous number of zealots. And it's not easy to maintain that level of warp in when you're taking fights as frequently as you're taking. It's not like they're maxing out, waiting to build up money, and then going to fight, and it's just like, boom, 15 zealots, boom, 10 more. It's like these warp-ins are happening while you're fighting somewhat consistently, so you don't have the time to really just bank up money, so you've got to rely on their income. Like I said, it's not like, you know, mining gas is bad. You know, what if instead of like 15 zealots, you warp in 8 zealots and 2 Archons? That's great until the 2 Archons get EMP'd, right? And that's the thing. I think a lot of Protoss tech units really work better in numbers. You know, with Protoss tech units, like 1 Colossus doesn't save you in a fight. 1 Disruptor usually doesn't save you in a fight, right? Yes, sometimes those units have those miracle moments. Typically, you need more of those units, and there was never really the slowdown period in that game to really build up to that good number of tech units again, right? Once ByuN had removed a lot of those tech units on the map, yeah, sometimes MaxPax got back to a couple of Colossus, but another fight happened, and they kind of got reset down again. So if you put a little bit more investment into trying to get more of those tech units out, do you not just have the same thing, but then you snowball harder? Like yeah, he got to a couple of Colossus, but just adding 2 Archons to those couple of Colossus, is that enough? I don't think so. So, yeah. That would be my take on it. I don't necessarily think it's a mistake to be so mineral heavy. I think you probably feel like you need to be super mineral heavy to survive through those kind of moments. Obviously, you know, looking back on it, maybe it would have been cool to see him try being a bit more gas mining. I do think it's tough. Because, like I say, so much of what keeps you alive in those situations is just that wall of zealots. Like, it's so frustrating as a Terran. I called it obnoxious earlier. And it really is. It feels like you're winning a fight and they just warp in 15 zealots. You're like, bro, like, it takes me forever to to kill those. Like, I can't move through those for literally a significant period of time. Like, it feels so unfair. But the cost of that is that all they're building is zealots. And so if you back away and get a few more units up, that should create a better trade for you as the Terran. And so you just have to slowly kind of take that approach over time. As tell you what, in this game, ByuN is setting up with no starport, 3 barracks, and he's just going to send it with a Marine tank SCV pull. I asked, can he do something a bit more aggressive here? Can he do something a bit more kind of feisty? This is against a robo-based opener, so we're not going to have Blink Micro. We're going to have 1 Immortal, a Colossus on the way. MaxPax is going to realize this about now. In the long term, this is very good for MaxPax because 1 Colossus, Colossus should absolutely shred the Marines. The problem is going to be is that, can you survive through this initial wave of Marines? Against this right now, we've got a handful of Zealots. The Marines do not stim just yet. The tanks are in good position. And with only 1 Colossus showing up, the tanks are going to be extremely good at zoning out that Colossus as well. Now, the issue for ByuN is that this is all in. This is super committed, so this is not just about killing the third. After this third base, you've got to get across to the natural and go from there as well. So I would not even mind if he unsieges those tanks and starts pushing up aggressively, because this third base is just the starting point. It's not the objective. It's scary, though, because you can obviously see that Colossus there. You want to respect that. You do not want to let that do too much. The tanks are going to siege now. The Marines are finally going to show their stim. Good step back from MaxPax. He's controlling this very well. The supply block's going to hurt, but he does have Colossus number 2 on the way. Obviously, every stim hurts right now because it's permanent damage. You do not have medevacs to heal those Marines back up and to bring them back to health. You're so reliant on these siege tanks. And we're going to start setting up some missile turrets too. So right now, you're just doing as much as you can in this current state with these SCVs, with these tanks. Going to start bunkering up this position because now you're going to hold your opponent on their natural. And that could be good enough. Getting into this kind of a place could be huge for you. Gateways are going down as well in this position. As ByuN is going to not be able to get rid of that robot facility in time. He's going to put some damage onto that Colossus, but should just pull back. Keep these Marines alive. Let the tanks do their thing. You're reinforcing behind this. You got a few Zealots actually shutting down some reinforcements, which is a nice touch. As here we go. MaxPax is actually going to pull the probes. He's going to send it. These tanks must target fire effectively here. They need to get rid of the Colossus. Gets rid of one. Save the Marines as the second Colossus goes down, hopefully. A lot of Marines left over here. The Immortal going to try and get rid of some more of the tanks, but it's not going to be good enough at all for MaxPax, especially when you consider the probe pull. He is going to fall down and die to this push of ByuN, as Marines, with still no healing available, are going to be, for now at least, good enough. And that will end this game. ByuN is going to take a 2-1 lead in this best of 5 over MaxPax, and that is one to swing the tables around in his favor. What is the answer to that? You probably give up the third base a little bit more quickly. He lost a few units trying to hit the third initially. You maybe get Zealots around the back sooner to shut down reinforcements, because one of the things you're not good at with that army, because you have charge as MaxPax, charge is going to let you trade very well against Marine tank reinforcements, but we did get some reinforcements across before MaxPax was able to shut those down. And then it's just about buying time, and I think he kind of pulled the trigger a bit too soon. Maybe he panicked. I mean, obviously bunkers and turrets come up, it's going to become more difficult as well. But maybe if you can shut down reinforcements and then you pick a fight coming in from all angles with the charge lots, that's probably going to be your better answer. But he didn't really get any of that going for himself, and he picked the fight out the natural, where he didn't have any of his own stack defense able to come into play. As with a lot of these things, it's kind of identifying it early as well, and I also think MaxPax didn't really know about it anywhere near soon enough. Like, he didn't realize just what ByuN was doing, so his preparation, there was no batteries there nearby to heal the Colossus, because you can bring the Colossus into the fight, fire, pull them back to the batteries, and they're healthy again, you know? If you don't have batteries, you can't do that as well, which makes it so much more difficult for you to really utilize your tech units. And if your tech units are truly just being zoned out, it's always going to be tough. You just got to remember that ByuN is super all in with that, because he pulled all of the SCVs on the natural. So yeah. Best of 1. No, best of 5, sorry. I just haven't... I'm just busy chatting away about the last game still, so I didn't think about setting the score. Interesting game. Fun little build from ByuN. Something a little bit different. Able to take the third game here. And now, ByuN is a map away from a huge win. Like I say, he won the very first WardiTV Monday before it was really established that MaxPax and Clem would play in all of these things, and since then it's been obviously super MaxPax and Clem focused, and Hero as well. But yeah, ByuN wins this one. That'd be a wild result. Just like I said, it's always wild whenever one of the big three don't win these things. Next is coming down. Just going to see our probe moving over. As we will see the CC, the factory refinery, all coming through just for now. Adept is going to step about. Again, the Adept and the Warp Gate coming through. Twilight Council and the Nexus building up for the moment. Factory CC and the Marines building as well. Continue to bring that straight into play. Marines will sit and then Adept will get shot at. Strip that away. A couple of Marines will get it. And Adept goes down. Maybe a nice start from ByuN as MaxPax going to drop a pause, yes, momentarily. Hopefully nothing too major. Maybe just a quick BRB. Just a quick lag spike or so. What server are we on, actually? West. So it's been Central, West. So ByuN has server preference here for this game 4. It doesn't mean if ByuN loses here, it's server preference for MaxPax in a game 5. So keep that in mind as well. Thank you, go. Nothing too major. And we get turrets. So back on track we go as we get ourselves into this game number 4. Adept going to try and come through where his brother already fell. Because yeah, what's up, Pulsar? Thank you so much for the 15-month resub. Welcome back for 15. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, the StarCraft, and the tournaments. Adept comes into the natural here. Just going to shade on by. Cyclone, the Marines coming up. Blink from the Warp Gate coming online. Robo Facility Gateway coming through too. So we can get all of that built into play for a few moments right now. Get that set up just initially. And the Cyclone gathering around. The Marines and the Siege Tank gathering together as well. Cyclone coming through. The Barracks coming about. The SCV still building. That Adept is going to shade by toward the natural, toward the main base. Again, just seeing the Cyclone locking on, chasing the Adept away. Adept will fall. So, Adept going down. Again, Barracks, Tank, Marines, Stim. All of that continues through for the moment as the Cyclone gets across to the far left. For now, it's just going to take that straight over. Coming through, a couple of gates coming about, probes coming in as well, so we just get that going right now. Charge coming through, get settled in for these early stages. A few Marines straight up into that bunker as well. Siege Tank is going to be gathering about. Stim Pack, Combat Shield, and +1 coming through too. And we got all those upgrades coming by. Just going to get ourselves the Stalkers gathering just out the front. ByuN obviously about to hit those bio upgrades. MaxPax just on his way to the charge, going into a lot more gateways now as well as that hallucination. Just trying to see what's up in the main. Going to be a well, it's interesting because it's got vibes of the last game because there's no starport. But there's actually going to be Stim and Combat Shield and +1 this time. So a bit of a different way of setting up. Immortal starts up from MaxPax. It's going to be very interesting because he's going to be very gateway heavy this time. And here comes the SCV pull from ByuN as he begins to move across the map here on El Dorado. So away we go. Stepping straight over. And tanks are going to be sieging, able to siege up. They're going to be able to do a lot of zoning. Batteries on the way from MaxPax too. There's a very dangerous space out the front of MaxPax's base where you can kind of sit between, like basically siege up the natural ramp and do a lot from there. These force fields are going to have a lot to say as well. They can do a lot of time buying. Cyclone gets another grab, one of the main benefits of having that. I don't hate this fight for ByuN, honestly, so far. Those Zealots can't get involved. The tanks obviously have to siege, but they're just going to unsiege and step forward. We have gotten rid of some of the SCVs, but the army supply from ByuN definitely feeling pretty favored at the moment. One tank will siege up. We'll just see the tanks continue to siege as well. The Immortal, they're going to get blasted. Uh-oh, MaxPax is in trouble. Bunkers will come down, and more than anything, these bunkers just create a safe space where it's going to be very, very difficult for you to kind of come forwards and just, you know, attacking with those Zealots. And these Zealots on the bottom side are going down too. ByuN, is he about to make some WardiTV Monday history by winning himself a second WardiTV Monday? No one has done this apart from MaxPax, Hero, and Clem. No one else has won 2 of these tournaments. ByuN is maybe just one fight away from doing it. Here we go. The Zealots do find a way in from the right-hand side. The Stalkers have to blink in, and MaxPax is going to say GG. He does not have an answer for the SCV pull for 2 games in a row, and ByuN is going to win the WardiTV Mondays. Like I say, the only player apart from MaxPax, Clem, and Hero to